I wanted to make the build accessible to anyone with a lower budget, but still can complete any endgame activity. This build is not using any super expensive item such as Rakiata Flow, Mageblood or Mirror tier items. Majority of the footages was recorded with 200% Delirious effect, which is giving 67% damage reduction to everything. With this in mind, look at the build damage. This is the endgame update for my Martial Artist Monk build. Oh no! Oh no! That is the map boss. Oh my goodness, this is a demon. The demon has arrived. Look at him! What's up guys, Pidget here. I improved the damage of various ways without spending too much currency. The first one, adding to the build pounds. When using the pounds on the target, most of the time on the bosses only, it will grant a debuff to the target that will increase the damage taken by 50% based on how many allies you have. And also I added Killing Palm with Blazing Critical Support, and also that can now generate rage as well when we hitting the ghost bells. This is very usable while we just waiting to the boss finish up the roleplay section. And basically with all of that you can just delete any boss in the game under matter of seconds, even on very high Delirious maps as well. The reason why I was not using this damage increase tax, because I was just wanted to play a one single button build guys, and I was just wanted to be a true one button build that I could do, you know, the normal endgame and so on, but with the Delirium and also with the much harder content that I want to farm, I was needed to implement these additional skills to the build. I also improved the build Tonkiness as well, so now we have much higher evasion. We're talking about 72%, and also because of that we have almost 90% deflection rating as well against blinded enemies, because in 0.5 the formula got changed. So now when you blinding an enemy, the enemy will have much reduced accuracy rating, that is calculates inside the deflection rating final value. So this is why we have a very high amount of damage reduction, more precisely 40% currently, and that is helping very big time in the end game, especially against, you know, pinnacle bosses and very juiced up bosses value mapping. And also the build has much higher energy shield now. I improved a little bit the gear as well, so, and also I leveled up a few more times, so now I almost 97. So basically I starting getting hit the energy shield limit without going pure energy shield basis, but I don't think I will swap because currently my evasion rating is kinda good and also gives us a lot of extra defensive layers while mapping. I changed a lot of items in the build and there is a lot of things to cover, so let's start with the big one. It's the weapon guys. I looted this one from the ground as a blue base. It had little the crit damage bonus and the tier 1 fizz increase, and I was slammed on that one with percentage fizz, and then after that I unveiled the tier 2 added physical damage, and also I added plus level to all attack skills, and basically this is how I got this one. I think the market value of this one currently is like 40 or 50 divine, and this is the most expensive item in this build. And the next other big upgrade guys, now I corrupted my gloves, so basically now I have a very nice glove with 2 sockets inside it, and I using perfect runes that you can upgrade the iron runes with the master work runes, and now this is providing me a lot of evasion and energy shield as you can see here, and also it's providing me 10% power charge on hit, which is the big core part of this build. And the way you can check guys your your rolls, basically just equip your gloves guys, because I think this line, the share charges with allies in your presence, has a hidden value that we cannot see, and this is determines the charge generation on the glove. And the next one is our helmet. The helmet is now a pure energy shield base with a tons of energy shield, precisely 500 and double resistance. Once again, I made this one by myself because I dropping a lot of tier 5 items with my farming strategy that I will make a video about this later. But this is just gives me a lot of extra energy shield and also resistances. The body armor is kinda good because we have a lot of evasion and energy shield on it, and deflection rating that is very important as well, and also a tiny bit of cold resistance. And currently I'm using Rabbit Idol in my body armor because I just was farming, you know, endgame content like endgame maps, so I wanted to get more item rarity, and definitely that was a good investment because maybe because of this I was able to drop a mirror while I was doing my farming strategy. And the boots is, now I have a 35% movement speed boots with a tons of evasion on it, and also this gives me lightning and chaos resistance and a little bit cold reds, and this is the most important part of this build because this boots gives me a lot of extra evasion. As you can see here, literally it gives me like 7k evasion, which is a very nice. So that's why I don't want to swap to a hybrid base, because I think the more evasion you have, the more deflection rating you will have, so the more damage reduction you will getting from it. And now the bed is, I'm using a bed with fire, lightning and chaos resistance because I'm not a CI character, because I lacking stun threshold and elemental elements, so that's why I still need chaos res, and currently I have 41%, which is, by the way, I think more than enough for the majority of the endgame content, and later on you can swap to the CI version. And the rings, guys, so basically the rings is not really insane because I was just wanted to get item rarity on this one, for example, and on this one I have literally just physical damage because only the physical damage is doing something for this build, because we're not scaling steel elemental damage because that is the much more expensive version with the Rakiata Flow, right? So I just wanted to get item rarity and a tiny bit life and resistances to fill up my requirements. And the amulet is kind of insane because that has +2 melee skills and also evasion rating increase, energy shield increase, and also global armor evasion and energy shield increase once again. And this is providing me a lot of damage, defenses, and also attributes as well. And I anointed the Well of Power, how you can fix your mana issues, because currently my build can sustain very easily the mana cost, as you can see here, when I'm standing still in my hideout, and when you have a power charge you can very easily sustain this one while you're fighting against bosses. So the first thing you need a Laviana Spirit Unique Flask that is providing you a lot of mana regen, also a ring with one single mana regen roll, anywhere, literally maybe if you're getting double then you will have much better. And also very important, your maximum mana number as well. So I have 900 mana and I have currently, because of that, easily over 100 mana regen, and that is helping me to sustain my holoform while I'm just holding down. Now the passive tree, guys, as I mentioned, I leveled up, and also now we using a weapon swap setup as well. The main passive tree is the green one that is providing you damage for the holoform, and we're just taking a lot of damage, right? Crit damage bonus, increase the rel here, crit chance here, crit damage here, critical hit chance here, and basically just scaling crit. And we still using real solidification because we still doing the armor break setup. This is still the Fizz version, and honestly I think I will stick to this one because it's kind of good. And also if I getting a little bit better weapon and investing into support gems, I can get like easily 50% more damage. Then maybe we'll outscale the Rakiata version of this build, but we're using on the weapon swap one. So when you're swapping to this one, to a Wyvern form, because you're using the Rend will give you a lot of extra damage. And also we're scaling skill effect duration on it now. So by default the Rend buff has a 10-second long duration, right? But with this one you can have 20-second duration. So basically we just picking up all of the skill effect duration here, and up here as well. So this is, at this point, is a very well-known tech, but once again, guys, my main goal was previously to just have a nice one button build, but now I was needed to add more button to the build, only for boss fights although, but otherwise I would be struggle against bosses. But with this setup we don't have any problem anymore. Using 3 Javelin in this build, one unique one, namely the Heart of the Well Diamond Javelin. This providing us crit damage, critical hit chance, extra chaos damage, and also increased evasion rating from body armor. Pretty nice piece of gear. I think I was purchasing for this one for like 4 divine a few days ago. And I'm using here a time loss javel with increased crit chance and also critical damage, and basically that's it what you're looking for this one. All the other ones is not matters, guys, and I'm using here a real javel with crit chance, critical damage bonus, and also increased maximum energy shield. This is a very nice piece offensively and defensively as well, because this is gives me, as you can see here, like 200 energy shield and a lot of crit chance and crit damage. And the ascendancy, guys, so the ascendancy, we still using the holoform technique, holofocus, and also Runic Meridians and Way of the Stonefist. Now I want to talk about the Runic Meridian a little bit more deeper, because this is a very recurring question. So I'm using this one in my helmet, a Glacial rune, because I need cold res. On my body armor, I'm using reduced effect of curses on you, Rune of Recovery for the faster energy shield recharge rate. In my gloves, I'm using an additional cold resistance, and I'm using here movement speed in my boots slot, because this build is really likes the movement speed, so you can just run around much faster, although it's, you know, it's PoE 2, so we cannot run so much faster than this. Now the link changes, guys. So on the end, we still using the prolonged duration, and I added the Hellbrim's Hide, but honestly this is not really doing anything. I was just testing out, so it's a little bit something. So it's not that insane. It gives you a very little guard sometimes, so it's not really mandatory, so you can just drop away this one if you want. On the holoform, we're using the Whirling Assault, Armor Break 3, Heavy Swing, Blindside, and Heft. This is our single target setup. When you're doing just maps, you swapping out the Heft to mobility, so you can run out much faster while you casting your whirling your holo form. And we're using holo focus with magnifying area 2, blind 2, cooldown recovery 2, maim, and also life leech a little bit, because sometimes this could help you to sustain your life during mapping. And I'm using with pounce. So the pounce is a new addition to the build. So we using the pounce because of the predator's marks, and mark target takes 3% increased damage for each of its enemies within 6 meters of it. So basically it counts your allies, and we already have 6 allies, right? Clones, that is also counts as an ally. So basically you have this 50, so basically we're hitting instantly the cap very easily, and this is providing us a lot of extra damage. And we're using on this one Mark for Death, and also we're using here prolonged duration for the more duration of this one, because once again we're scaling duration on the weapon set 1. So basically this buff, this Predator Mark has like a 20-second long debuff duration on the enemy. So basically I think you will kill the bosses under that time, and we're using Brutus Brain here. So why we doing that? Because our wolves has like 601k HP, they would die instantly to anything, especially for bosses, and it would be annoying every single time we resummon them. And also the wolves is not doing any damage because of the support gem, but also if you're not using this support gem, they also not doing any sort of damage. So either way, this is just a quality of life, and it's just much better to have this one. And on a boss fight, you have immediately all of your damage increased. Added a new stuff as well, the Killing Palm. So this will enables us to cool down our ghost bells and providing us a power charge while we're waiting for the map boss to finish the roleplay section, and that will proc the charge profusion, so you will stack up endurance and frenzy charges as well. And because we're dealing critical strike, because when you're hitting the ghost bells, they providing you granulated crits, so basically this is a free damage increase as well. And also we adding rage support as well to it, because this is considered a melee attack, so we can generate as well a rage that is providing us 30% more attack damage, and we're using prolonged duration for the blazing critical. So guys, this is my super endgame build update video with lower budget. Okay, so this build, once again, not using Rakiata for Ulneto's Embrace and all of these goodies, mirror tier items. When the next time you will see this character, I will invest a lot of money to this one, so this will be literally the double amount of damage, but you will see. Till then guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidgeot2. Thanks for watching. I was Pidgeot. See you next time.